That's crazy. Now the new family done abandoned you. Now you trying to scurry back. Nah. Stay over there where you been. What's up, little enzymes? Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. I feel like every other month I come on here apologizing for my inconsistency, but I really am sorry. Like recently, I don't know why, but it's just been a lot going on. Like good things, like a lot of friends' birthdays, celebrations, like things happening that have taken my time, like on the weekends where normally I would try to devote more time to like creating videos and stuff. Plus I have to work my full-time job during the week. So usually I try to, like before I was trying to batch create videos, but like I just don't have time really to do that. Plus I do be on my phone too much. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, next month I'm taking some time off pretty much for the whole month. So I'll definitely have more free time so that I can get caught up on videos and be able to have them out every single day, consistently, all the time. And that'll also be our 1-year channel anniversary. So I really want to make sure that next month I am like super consistent, getting all the like extra videos for anyone who's a member, and also launching our merch. But I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. My apologies. I'ma do better. But for today, the topic of the video, what is the topic for the video? Let's say against my wishes. Let's just call it that. So the first story is, am I the a-hole for sterilizing myself against my partner's wishes? Okay, Reddit, I need some unbiased outside opinions because I truly feel like I'm going crazy dealing with this situation. I, 28 female, and my partner, 28 male, have 2 children together and have been married for 8 years. For those 8 years, I've either been on birth control when we were preventing pregnancy or tracking my cycle when we were trying to conceive. Adding this just to give the community the context that reproductive responsibility has always fallen on my shoulders. Recently, we discussed the possibility of being done with children since we have our 2 and the family feels complete. My partner is in agreement that a 3rd child is off the table for him as well. So with that, I thought, great, I can bring up sterilization for either him or I. The reason I wanted this is because I've had every form of birth control before, and none of them ever left me feeling 100% okay. So I wanted to be done with birth control completely since we both agreed we're done. It's been about 3 months since our talk about more children, so I brought up either getting a vasectomy for him or me getting a salpingectomy, removing my fallopian tubes. What I thought would be a productive conversation completely blew up. He outright refused a vasectomy, and when I was okay with that and said I'd happily get a salpingectomy, he completely flipped his crap on me, screaming at me about how he forbids it from happening and he won't allow me to damage myself like that. Wait a minute, forbids is crazy. You forbid OP from doing something to her own body? That's crazy. What? She said, I ended up just leaving the conversation and headed to get our kids from school, but on the way I ended up calling my gynecologist to schedule a consultation for the salpingectomy after making sure I won't need my spouse's approval. So Reddit, am I the a-hole if I go through with the sterilization against my partner's wishes? Not the a-hole, and it's not adding up. If he already agreed that you guys don't need any more kids, then what's the issue with you making sure that you're 100% or at least, yeah, because if you remove the fallopian tubes, you can't have no more. If you just completely remove them. If you get the tubes tied, I think there's like a possibility or something. But if you get them removed, that's it. So yeah, what's wrong with you getting 100% certainty that you're not gonna have any more kids if you guys don't want any more kids? It sounds to me like maybe he actually does want more kids later, because how would that make any sense? Either way, like, you forbid me to do something with my own body? Sir, be for real. Be for real. The comments, he forbids you, big nope on that. Someone else said, yeah, and LOL at him thinking that procedure will damage her more than childbearing. Right. Another person, or the hormonal BS we put into our bodies for decades. Someone else said, not the a-hole, your body, your choice, and no man can forbid you from controlling your reproductive destiny. And the last comment said, damage yourself? Does he not realize that birth control has serious side effects? I can't help think it's more than the procedures. Even though he said he's done with wanting more kids, his actions say otherwise. He's not being honest with you. That was my thought. If you love this man, talk to him again, be firm, find out what he is really not saying. He is your partner. He should be supporting you in your choice for the procedure. You should not be hiding it. I'd say he is the a-hole. So update a few hours later, she said, due to the support and advice I found on here, I managed to get the confidence and level headspace needed to try and have another conversation with my partner. After getting our children to their school/daycare for the day, I went to our local coffee shop to pick us up each a cup. I figured it can either be seen as a show of care or a peace offering. Once I got home, he was sitting at our island doom scrolling through TikTok. I think we've all been there. I decided standing across from him would be a bit of a better choice, so I gave us our respective cups and asked if I could get his attention for a conversation. Well, what I hoped would be productive turned unproductive quickly as he sighed with an eye roll and turned off his phone. I started by asking the big question of if he wanted any more children. I even suggested he doesn't think about what I said on the subject and just tell me his feelings about more children. With that, he answered a firm no and told me, as he said before, a third child is and always will be off the table. So why doesn't he want her to get the tubes? It's not making sense. She said, I then asked if he had any fears or concerns about surgeries/medical procedures. He said no to this question as well. So I asked if he understood the procedure and what it entailed, and he said yes, he does, which is why he doesn't want me to get it done. In his words, I wouldn't be a woman. Oh, I see what we have going on here. In his words, I wouldn't be a woman if I got any part of my reproductive organs, what makes me a woman, removed, and he refuses to allow me down that path. Brother, okay. I then followed up by asking about his getting a vasectomy, and he said it's pretty much the same thing for men, and he won't let anyone take away his manhood. I need to know where he was on January 6th, a few years ago. She said the final question I managed to ask was, did he just expect me to be on birth control forever? And this man looked me in my face and said, it's worked so well for me already. Why change things up? Guys, as I stated in my previous post, I am miserable and in debilitating pain with birth control. At the end of this, I just grabbed my coffee and went to sit on our porch, just trying to wrap my head around the conversation while he sat in the house acting like nothing is wrong and we're just having a normal day off together. It's not looking good. People who are so unnecessarily LGBTQ plus phobic is always a red flag to me, because in my mind, like, you really just hate yourself and you hate that other people get to live their true selves. So instead of accepting them, you go along with the societal pressure and you hate on them even though you really want to be them. It's giving jealousy. It's giving jealousy to me. Like, how does his thought process doesn't make any sense. So your partner removes her fallopian tubes and now she's not a woman. Someone said he genuinely does not care for you, your health, or your sanity. Chronic pain is not nothing. I'm sorry you're experiencing this, but please make sure you're safeguarding your own health before attempting to take his viewpoint. This is why people need to understand that gender identity isn't a scary topic laced with hatred. People just want to keep pushing the gender roles our grandparents had. This man genuinely thinks that him getting a vasectomy makes him less of a man and that his wife shouldn't have a QOL procedure. Oh, quality of life procedure. I could see a sliver of a possibility of him having a point if both of y'all wanted kids, but you don't. Not the a-hole, and definitely recommend getting the procedure anyways. You shouldn't be suffering on pills and hormones for him to be comfortable in your own skin. Another comment, as a guy, I can't comprehend doing anything that would bring my partner pain or could lead to her dying quicker or first. It makes me so sad and miserable to know that so many other men cause this and are just okay with it, or not even aware of the pain and suffering they're causing. I'm not even married to my partner yet, but I love her and would do whatever is necessary to make sure that she can live the happiest and healthiest life possible. It makes me so infuriated to know that so many other men don't think this way or even consider it. I mean, shoot, look at how many men treat their partner when they're on their period like a leper, rather than doing research to understand it and helping in whatever way they can to make sure their partners are as comfortable as they can be through it every month. If I could, I'd gladly take on pain for her if it meant she didn't need to struggle or suffer through it. Because at the end of the day, her pain, in a way, is my pain. It's supposed to be a part of being a partner or married, isn't it? To share each other's struggles and pain so that neither has to face it alone. So yes, F this guy, and may he live the rest of his life alone. Yeah, bro is tripping. Update 2 days later. Hey Reddit, I just wanted to give a small update. I've been reading all of your comments on my last 2 posts. I swear, I appreciate all the advice and kind words, sometimes even the unkind words, because it gives me more to think about. So to start, I've been at my sister's with the children all weekend. I told my husband that she was feeling lonely and wanted us to stay over. He believed it, as we usually try to do this once a month. I called off work Monday so my sister and I can meet up with the divorce lawyer that handled her divorce. I'm unsure if divorce will be the path I go down, but I want to get my ducks in a row before laying it all down for my husband. Also, I would like to answer some questions that I saw a lot of in my last post. Yes, I still plan to go through with the sterilization. I absolutely don't want any more children, even if this ends in divorce. I plan to tell him it's getting done no matter what he says or believes. There will definitely be no intimacy with him anymore. I feel like I lost all attraction and respect for him. The children don't know what's going on. They just think it's a fun time at Auntie's house. Condoms are a no. I exist because of a broken condom. Laughing emoji. I currently have an IUD, and while, yes, it has been the best birth control I've been on, I still cannot function properly for a week out of the month due to pain, and depressive episodes. No, he hasn't done anything like this before, which is what caught me so off guard with everything. Disagreements in our relationship have, up until now, been able to be discussed and compromised on. We grew up in a deep Catholic community but fell away from the church years ago. Another comment says, sound like you're handling this like a total boss, getting your ducks in a row. OP said, thank you for that. I feel like it's a total crap show on my end, but I'm trying to keep the blow up to a minimum. I know there's a chance crap will hit the fan with him due to how things have been going currently, but I don't want drama coming from my end. Then someone had some concerns about her letting him know her plan, and she said, thankfully our finances for the most part are separated. The only joint bank account we have is for bills and child expenses. Someone said, if you're gonna abstain from intimacy, why get the procedure? If you're abstaining, have you fallen out of love? Is that the reason for the lawyer? How does that? She says she never ever wants kids. Why is that so confusing? Because presumably she'll be intimate with someone else in the future if she does get a divorce. So like she would still need the procedure. Anyway, OP responded, I want the procedure for myself no matter my relationship status. I want to be done with birth control without a chance of children no matter where the future takes me. As well as the fact that this procedure reduces the risk of cervical cancer significantly, which is common in my family, so that's a plus. I haven't fallen out of love with him per se, but I truly hold no respect for him right now with how he's treated me over this. I'm unsure if we will divorce, but I feel like it might be for the best, especially if to him this will damage me, quote unquote. I think there's a new update. Let me see. 4 days ago. Yeah, this looks like a new one. Last update for a bit. So I would like to start off by saying thank you everyone for the amazing support I've received through the comments and messages. I know I haven't replied in a while, but I have been reading it all. Now, to start it off, I'll update everyone on the meeting with the lawyer. I was able to talk through my options as well as what legally would be my husband's and what legally would be mine. I know my next steps of things would lead to divorce, and I feel confident in taking those steps if needed. After the meeting, I went back home and got settled back in. I ended up just doing normal tasks until the kids got home, and when my husband got home, I suggested getting the children to bed early so we can talk, so we did just that. He ended up starting the conversation by saying, if I plan to get the sterilization, then he wants a divorce because he can't be with someone who doesn't share his same values. Well, I guess he made it easy for her. Wow, you're really divorced? It's just not making sense. Like, I have such a logical brain that when things don't make sense, it really just bothers me. Why? Like, it doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, it's still the same person. Like, she's not getting a sex change or anything. Like, if that's what you're worried about, she's literally just getting one little part removed. That's not gonna, it's internal. It's not even, I can't even formulate a full thought because I just flabbergasted. She said, at that moment, I knew this was it for us, so I informed him of my consultation this week for the surgery and my intention to go through with it no matter what. There was honestly a lot of back and forth, and I wanted to say it lasted for 3 hours before he said he's done and left the house. He's been staying at his mom's and hasn't really asked about the children staying with him. I have offered per the suggestion of my lawyer, but to no avail. Currently, I'm getting a legal separation agreement written up, so hopefully start the divorce process peacefully or as peacefully as possible. The kids ask about him, but I just keep telling them he's helping grandma for a bit. I'm not sure how to tell them he won't be back. Thankfully, my therapist suggested a children's therapist to me, so I plan to set them an appointment soon. I'm honestly not too sure where everything went wrong with us. I always felt like we had true love, but maybe I was just naive to any of the other signs. There probably was a little bit of naivete going on there, because I feel like in all these stories, people be like, he's such a great guy. The only thing is he murdered his dog or something like crazy. Then it'd be like, well, actually, now that I think about it, it'd be like some off the wall stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, he did kidnap somebody before. Like, what? And that wasn't a red flag to you? Not blaming this lady specifically, but like in other stories, I feel like people be ignoring in real life, really, not even just the stories. People just ignore things or they gloss over certain things because they really want to like believe the person or believe in the potential of the person that they see in front of them. Eventually, the reality is going to bite back. I wish her the best. So next story is, am I the a-hole for telling my mom I won't take care of her when she's old after she abandoned me as a kid? I, 29 female, was raised by my dad after my mom walked out on us when I was 6. She left to, quote, find herself and started a new family with another man. She barely kept in touch. No birthdays, no holidays, not even a call when I graduated college. For most of my life, I accepted that she didn't want to be my mom and I moved on. Fast forward to a few months ago, out of nowhere, she reached out. At first, I thought maybe she wanted to reconnect and apologize for the past, but no. She told me she was struggling financially, her health wasn't great, and she needed someone to step up. Step up is crazy. When you stepped down, you want me to step up and you stepped down. Step up is crazy. Anyway, she said she needed someone to step up and take care of her. Apparently her husband left and her other kids, quote, weren't in a position, end quote, to help. I told her flat out, no. I wasn't going to play caretaker for someone who abandoned me when I needed her. I reminded her that she made her choice years ago and I don't owe her anything. She got mad and started crying, saying, but I'm still your mother. You can't just throw me away like I'm nothing. I don't feel guilty. She made her bed and now she has to lie in it. But Part of me wonders if I really am being too harsh. Am I the a-hole for refusing to take care of the one who abandoned me, even though she is my mother and we share the same blood? Listen, I said it once and I'll say it again. Being fertile doesn't automatically give you the rights and privileges that come with being a parent. And also, having someone to take care of you when you're old is not a right and privilege of being a parent. Let's get that clear. Now, granted, if you and your kid have a good relationship, if you did what you needed to do and you have that is a natural occurrence that usually happens when one person cares for another, and if they have the means and opportunity, then they would generally feel inclined to help, a parent in their old age if they can. But that shouldn't be an automatic like, oh, I had you, now I'm gonna take care of you for these 18 years, and when I get old, you need to take care of me. No, that's not that should never, ever be an automatic expectation. In other countries, maybe. In the US, that's just how it is. Other countries and cultures, because there's multiple cultures within the US, but in the main US individualistic culture, we don't do that. And you should not expect that. And you should not be having children for the sole purpose of having someone to take care of you when you're young. That is one of my pet freaking peeves. Especially if you run out on your kid and you leave them to start a new family. Now the new family done abandoned you. Now you trying to scurry back. Nah. Stay over there where you been for the past 23 years. Somebody said, not the a-hole, you don't owe her anything. She made her bed, time to sleep in it. OP responded, I was willing to forgive her, but there was a darker picture behind why she wants to reconnect with me. Someone else said, if she says, you cannot abandon me, I am your mother, again, just point out, she abandoned you, and what goes around comes around. Exactly. So one day later, there was an update. She said, it's been a day since I posted here, and I'm very thankful to all of you who shared your thoughts on it. I just want to share what happened in the past 24 hours. She was still blowing up my phone with guilt trips, telling me I was, quote, heartless, and that she, quote, did the best she could, end quote. When I didn't respond, she turned to extended family. Suddenly, I was getting messages from relatives I hadn't spoken to in years, telling me I was a disgrace, and that family is family no matter what. Oh, really, Uncle Johnny? Oh, really, Uncle Bob? Family is family no matter what. Then you take her in. I don't see you signing up for the caretaker package. You said no matter what. Child, these people. She continues, one aunt even said, you'll regret this when she's gone. But the real kicker, I found out from my dad that she's been telling people that she was forced to leave when I was a kid, painting herself as the victim in all of this. She claimed my dad turned me against her and that she always wanted to be in my life, but I never let her. That was the moment I knew I made the right decision. I sent her one final message. You abandoned me. You don't get to come back now and demand my love and care like nothing happened. I owe you nothing. Then I blocked her. Period. She said, I don't feel bad. If anything, I feel lighter. I feel free. I feel happy. Period. Oof, these types of stories irk me. Like, you really think just because you were fertile and you had the ability to get pregnant and carry to term, that automatically makes you entitled to some kind of something? No. There's more that you have to do after that. Like, someone said, that's honestly the perfect way to handle a crappy situation. I'm glad you stood up for yourself. Someone else said, I agree. Now she suddenly remembers she's a mother. Get the heck out of here with that nonsense. Family isn't just blood. It's showing up, and she sure as heck didn't. Now that life kicked her in the butt, she wants someone else to fix it? Nah. She made her bed. She can dang well lie in it. Another comment said her husband left her and her other kids weren't in the position to help. Can we wonder why? Seems like all of them went no contact. Enjoy your life, OP. Facts. Let me see if she had anything. Oh, account suspended. It's always funny when people use the blood is thicker than water quote, when in reality, that is not the full quote. The full quote is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So it actually has an opposite meaning. that the connections and relationships that you force through the fire, or that you choose, or that you like make intentional, can actually be more important than your relatives or the people who share DNA with you, pretty much, which is quite interesting. Let's go to the last story. It says, am I the a-hole for not wanting to pay my girlfriend's $300 tuition fee? My 25 male girlfriend, 21 female, tested me and I, quote, failed. Oh man. My 25 male girlfriend, 21 female, goes to school full-time and works 2 part-time jobs. She lives in a dorm, so her only real expenses are gas, groceries, and paying off her credit card. She also takes school-related and family trips about once a month, spending money on new clothes, nails, makeup, and hair. I recently graduated last December and have been running my own business for the past year. I'm not rolling in cash. I reinvest a lot into my houses and myself. I try to be frugal but not cheap. I've spent money on experiences for us, trips, eating out, excursions, bought her gifts like for Valentine's Day, and I also own a house, which comes with its own financial responsibilities. First of all, kudos to you, my brother. For 25 years old, it sounds like you're doing great. Keep it up. He says, the situation, she recently crashed her car into a curb and had to pay $400 for repairs. A month ago, she also had an unexpected $300 tuition fee pop up, which she hasn't paid yet. Today, she asked me if I could cover it because she needs to sign up for summer classes and her balance has to be cleared first. Why wouldn't she ask her parents or the school for like a school loan? At 21 years old in college, I just don't see like my partner being the first person, my boyfriend at that, being the first person I try to look to pay my obligation, when I was the one that crashed in my car into a curb and had to pay for the repair. Like, this whole thing is your fault. This is all self-inflicted. So why does he have to pay? Anyway, he says, today she texted me asking if I could cover it because she needs to sign up for summer classes and her balance has to be cleared first. I suggested she take out a subsidized loan, which is interest-free, and she could get the money as soon as next week. Right. But she insisted she needed it today to enroll. I mean, you can get the loan pretty quickly from my experience. He said, this is why I'm hesitant. 1, she's known about this tuition fee for over a month but didn't prioritize paying it. 2, she works 2 part-time jobs and has no major bills, so how is she short on $300? 3, she told me half her paycheck went to car repairs, $400, so I asked where the other half went. She said, gas, groceries, eating out, and new clothes for a school trip. That tells me she prioritized clothes and personal expenses over an essential bill like tuition. 4, she has money in her savings, but she doesn't want to use it because she's putting it towards paying off her credit card. But aren't savings for emergencies? This girl's money habits are all types of messed up, because unless it's an interest-free credit card, if you have money in savings, but you have a balance on your credit card, you don't have money in your savings, because the balance on the credit card is racking up interest every single month. So you're losing money by keeping the balance on the credit card versus just paying it off. Now, I can understand having like at least, like $1,000, $2,000 in your savings just for like if you need cash on hand. So I don't know exactly how much she has in her savings. So maybe that's why she still has some in her savings, just so she has cash on hand. But then in that case, if you pay off the credit card and there is an emergency, you can put it on the credit card. But keeping it on the credit card literally is costing you money. Anyway, look, this is not a money channel. Let's not get into it. He said, the 5th point, she knows money has been tight for me lately. I've had to cover $1,500 in truck repairs, taxes, and house foundation fixes. Bigger concerns, beyond finances, I feel unappreciated. We've been together for over 6 months and I've expressed wanting to meet her family. However, her family is very culturally traditional and Muslim, and since we're not officially allowed to date, I haven't been introduced. Our relationship is very private, and although she's trying to open it up, I don't like being hidden. Yeah. He continues, she says that where she comes from, men are expected to provide and spoil their wives and girlfriends, and that this is an opportunity to show that I'm a providing man. While I do that for my mom and sisters, I feel like in this case, it's being expected rather than appreciated. So, am I the a-hole for saying no? I don't think I'm being stingy because she's had a month to handle this. She chose to spend on nails, clothes, and eating out instead of paying tuition. She has the money in her savings but doesn't want to use it. I don't feel appreciated enough in the relationship to be covering major expenses. I have my own financial responsibilities that are more pressing. Honest thoughts, am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Okay, before I get into the comments, I want to play this video that I saw on TikTok because I feel like this discourse around money has just been like so prevalent lately. And I don't care what anyone does. Like, if you want a provider man, period, but sprinkle, whatever. If you want to go 50-50, period. If you want to be a provider female and hold him down, do you, boo-boo. But I honestly think that everyone should just find someone who already fits the type of lifestyle that they want and go with that. Why are we complaining about other people who, no, you shouldn't be asking for a man to fully provide? How does that matter to you? That's not your target demographic. How does that matter to you if someone wants a man to fully provide? Or on the other side, no, you shouldn't be going 50-50. That's crazy, girl. If you're going 50, why does that matter to you? If you don't want to go 50-50, don't go 50-50. But at the same time, don't be trying to convince someone else not to do it. That literally has no effect on you. Just literally date who wants to date you and date who is already aligned with you. But you can't try to date someone and then make them be aligned with how you want to operate. If you're dating or you're together and you see that it's not going the way that you want it to go, then leave and find someone else. It's really quite simple. And we just overcomplicate it all the time. But I think what the real problem is, the people that folks want to date have different lifestyle habits, and the folks that they don't want to date have the same lifestyle habits. So it's not matching up. The dating pools are not matching up. Well, something's got to give, Buster. Something's got to give. But you can't force people to try to live their lives like you feel that they should. And this guy, Joshua Neal on TikTok, summed it up perfectly.
Ladies, if you want yourself a man with a lot of money, then get yourself a man with a lot of money. But don't get a man with no money and then be mad that he has no money. Also, fellas, we gotta stop talking about baddies. Are you a baddie yourself? If you were you and saw you walk in the club, would you turn your neck and look at you? Ask yourself. So you're with them and you don't like the way that they're treating you, but you're still with them. Do you like pain? You're not gonna find love because you're in the house too much. Get out. Nobody's gonna Christopher Columbus for you. She has 900,000 followers and follows 12 people. Forget about it. Some people don't mind going 50-50. Some people will not go 50-50. Find the person that you're on the same page with and stop arguing about it.
He basically was saying the same thing that I was saying. Like, essentially what it all boils down to is date who matches you, who matches your expectation. If it's not matching, you can't force them to match. Just leave and find what you actually want. Anyways, child, not the a-hole to this man. Like, obviously, it sounds like he doesn't even mind being a quote provider, but he wants her to be a little bit more responsible and not as frivolous, and also a little bit more appreciative. She's coming at it as, this is how men should be. You should be doing this anyway, da-da-da-da-da-da. Where's the thank you? Where's the, oh, I'm so appreciative? It sounds like really that's all he is really wanting. So if she were to change her attitude, she might actually get what she is asking for. But alas, someone said, don't pay for her tuition. If her religion is so important that she expects gender roles out of you, then she shouldn't be dating without her parents' knowledge or having intimacy. She's cherry picking what parts of religion to follow. And what's the unexpected fee? Demand to know what it is, because it sounds to me like she's using you as a bank account. And if she wants you to act like an unofficial boyfriend who pays, then you need to be treated like an unofficial boyfriend who is brought home to meet the parents. If you're too shameful to be introduced, then it's shameful to take your money too. That's a good point. Opie said, I agree on the unexpected fee. I'm curious to even know if it's real. I know I'm not going to pay for her tuition, so is it even worth asking to prove to me the $300 expense? I'm really curious about it now. What's the best way to go about asking for proof? Someone else said, here's the thing. I don't think she has proof. Don't be surprised if you ask, she's gonna be like, don't you trust me? It's none of your business. Don't question me, and other BS answers. If this is really a school bill, it's going to be online. It's going to go through the college website, and there's going to be receipts. There will be an official trail to be seen. Demand in writing that she will pay you back. But like I said, I don't think she's going to react well. Don't be surprised if this breaks you up. I smell a rat. I mean, if he really wanted to try and see if she was bluffing, he could be like, oh, send me the website so I can do it online. But then she might be like, oh, I'll just log in for it. Just give me the card details. I don't know. She might try to make something up, but I have a feeling that it's not real either. Because who would wait to the last minute like that? OP responded, true, I know she will take it offensively if I ask her to prove it. Lastly, I told her I'm going to think about it, kind of implying I will pay for it. Then she said she's also going to expect me to start paying for gas and groceries here and there for her. I didn't mention that in the original post. Yeah, she gassing it. She been watching Sheba 7. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what she been watching. Which again, like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But you also have to like go about it the right way. And she's just demanding all these things without really offering anything in return. Like kind of being entitled. That's what she's doing. She's being entitled about it. And no one likes an entitled person. Someone else said, so not good enough for the parents, but your wallet is. She's a scrub. OP responded, now how do I tell her this? Do I keep it simple by saying, sorry, I don't have the money to pay for something like that at the moment? Or should I give her these reasons of why I won't pay for it and why I think it isn't okay that she's asking me for this? Someone else said, tell her for a wife I would maybe pay, not for a girlfriend of 6 months whose parents I haven't even met yet. OP responded, haha, that's harsh, but straight to the point. That too, because they've only been together just over 6 months. For her to be demanding all of this in just over 6 months, y'all barely even like solid for real. You haven't met the parents. You obviously, she's, in my opinion, she's doing a little much. And again, if she sees that he's not the type of person who's going to be acting and doing exactly like she thinks he should, go to someone else, girl. There's so many other people out here in this world. Go to someone else. Someone else said, fact is, OP, you don't need a justification. No is a full sentence. But I understand she will want to know why. Ultimately, I don't think this relationship is salvageable if you can't sit down with each other and be honest. She wants you to provide, but isn't willing to give you anything in return. Apart from the fact that you're not in a position to provide, and she expects you to just fork money over just because. Right, that too. This man is 25. Like, he not finna be a provider at 25. He's doing well for himself, granted. Provider at 25 is crazy. Someone else said, why can't her family give or lend her the money? OP responded, her car expense was $800 and her dad helped her with half of it. She says her dad has made her feel like crap when she would ask for money growing up, so she doesn't like to ask anything anymore, even though he pays for her phone, insurance on her car, etc. But I'm still curious, why can't she ask her dad for help? I wouldn't think, in my mind, that a girl who has just started dating someone for 6 months wouldn't want to ask him to pay for her tuition. Maybe ask him to pay for her nails or help out with gas if she's going through a rough patch. Exactly. Update 1 day later. Hey everyone, I'm the 25 male who posted about wanting to know if I'm the a-hole for not wanting to pay my girlfriend's 21 female $300 tuition fee she asked me to pay for her. Well, turns out it was all a test. We talked about it and I told her I would not pay for it. She pushed back asking why not. I explained that it's not my role to cover her general expenses, especially knowing she had the money but chose to spend it on clothes and nails instead. Then she hit me with, would it be any different if we were married? I said, yes, it would be different, but since we're not, that's not the case. Then she said, well, if you don't want to provide for me like a husband, then why should I be intimate with you? I believe intimacy is for marriage only. He said, bruh. She was basically saying she won't be intimate with me unless I pay for her things. Wow. Then she revealed it was all a test. She had already paid for the tuition herself, but wanted to see if I would provide for her when she needs it. I was so shocked and upset that I told her I needed space. I hung up, walked around, and called my mom to vent because she's really helpful in moments like this. Meanwhile, my girlfriend kept blowing up my phone with calls and texts. After processing everything, I came to the conclusion that this was manipulative. Healthy relationships are built on trust, communication, and mutual respect, not secret tests to see if the other person will act a certain way. If she had concerns about financial support, she should have had an open conversation instead of setting up a situation where I could fail. I told her all of this. Her response, she still didn't see the issue. She tried to spin it like she actually needed the money when in reality she didn't because she had it. Then she said it was an opportunity for me to act from the goodness of my heart and I didn't take it, which is crazy because I have done so much for her. Not to mention on top of all of this, we're forgetting that this young man has actually like done things for her. So it's not like he just not spending money on her at all, being a total like cheapo or whatever. Like he's actually done stuff. He said, I completely paid for a fancy trip for us. I always pay for our dates. I buy her gifts here and there. I went all out for Valentine's Day. I filled up her gas tank when we drove her car. And just today, I told her I got her Ramadan gifts. I feel like when you love someone, you don't test them or set them up to fail. A mature person would have an open conversation if they saw something as a concern. But here's the biggest issue. She told me she could never bring me around her parents because I'm not Muslim. Never is crazy. Why are y'all even together? He said, I told her, if you expect me to behave like a husband by paying for your stuff, then I expected to be treated like a husband by being included in your family. Family is important to me. I love inclusion and I want to share life with my partner's loved ones, not be shut out. She basically said it doesn't matter how great of a man I am to her. If I'm not Muslim, she can't introduce me to them. The worst part, she still doesn't see my perspective on the financial test and why it was wrong. She genuinely believes she did nothing bad. And then she made that comment about me not being Muslim, so I'll never meet her family. I feel upset and honestly heartbroken. This isn't really an Am I the A-hole post anymore, more of an update and event. Thanks for reading. Someone said there is a word for transactional relationships. Prostitution. Okay, I see that comment a lot. I disagree because all relationships are transactional in some way. It doesn't always mean money, but all relationships are transactional. Someone else said there's also a term for pretending to be a Muslim while not following rules Muslims have to follow. Liar. Okay. Another person, so she wouldn't be intimate with you unless you gave her $300. What does that make her? If your significant other has tests, that is a gigantic red flag. Ask your mom, how would she respond to being tested by her husband? Tests are so childish and manipulative. Relationships are built on trust. If you have to test your partner, then you are in the wrong relationship. In fact, you are not mature enough to be in a relationship. Someone else said, there's a lot of love out there in the world if you give it a little time and a chance. Someone will make this all seem trivial. There is a real love out there who will love you as much as you love them. Stop punishing yourself. It's time to move on. OP said, you're right. Just heartbreaking knowing everything I did for this relationship. It feels like I wasted it all. Because the crazy part is, y'all was never going to be together. She expecting all this and y'all were never, ever, ever going to be together unless you convert to Islam. So why didn't she just get a Muslim guy to begin with? And then he's part of the culture, so he would likely be more aligned with her monetary requirements. That honestly would be, why didn't she do that? She playing for real. She playing this man. She just wanted his money. Oh, so I'm looking through his other posts. He actually studied to become Muslim. It says, my Muslim girlfriend and I have officially broken up because she says we can't date ever since I told her last week that I won't ever become Muslim. For context, I studied and did everything I could to become Muslim, but I could never follow Muhammad for all the stuff. Well, and he has like his opinions on why he can't, but so it sounds like he actually considered it, but then he just did not agree, or that he actually was Muslim because he's posting in the ex-Muslim subreddits. Well, I think that's it for that post then. And the palette cleanser for today is the cutest freaking thing I have seen in a long time. It's this video of a grandfather sitting at a piano playing, and his grandson, it's this baby. He probably like, how old do babies be, child? 8 months? He probably like 8 months. He's old enough to be standing, so maybe like 10 months. But he is so freaking cute. He has like this little side part. His hair is slicked over, and he looked like a Cabbage Patch baby doll. Like huge, rosy cheek, big old belly, like chunky. He's so freaking cute. He's so freaking cute. So he's like dancing and clapping to the grandfather playing the piano. It is just the cutest thing. Here we go. That's it. But he's so cute. Oh my god. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.